Trey, who is of like legal drinking age, brought around 3 freshmen drinking.
Um,
Wait, that's a little sus.
well,
All right, welcome back to Shitty or Trash Taste. It's me with the boys and a girl this time, coming at you live, or actually not live. We're gonna upload this after. Shit posting with the lads, season 2, episode 3. We have a dear honored guest on today, Amelia. Yay!
yay.
Do you want to tell us about yourself a little bit?
I'm majoring in um psychology and minoring in gender and sexuality studies.
Wait, you don't need to dox yourself. I was thinking more like,
Oh, what the fuck?
name and stuff you're interested in or
What the
something.
fuck? What the
Just straight
fuck?
up
You
dox
gonna cut
yourself.
that? You gonna cut that? You gonna cut
I don't know, man.
that? What the heck? I didn't. Okay.
You just
Okay.
straight
Okay.
up be
I'm
like,
gonna restart.
my
I'm gonna restart.
mom's
I'm gonna
maiden
restart.
name.
I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna restart.
Yeah, what's your
Go ahead,
credit
go
card
ahead, go
information,
ahead.
social security number?
Okay,
Yeah.
my
The street you grew up
my
on?
area code. My area code. Okay, wait,
Phone
wait.
number?
I'm gonna restart that. I'm gonna restart that.
Okay.
My name my name's Amelia.
Excellent. We're just gonna bleep all of that.
I'm a
Yeah.
sophomore. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
My
gonna be
name's
like a
Amelia.
20-second long bleep.
Dumb. Okay. Hi. My name's Amelia. I'm a sophomore in college and I'm majoring in psychology and minoring in gender and sexuality studies.
Yeah.
All
Also, for
right.
context, we met Amelia because she's friends with Trey.
Former
Yes.
guest.
Yes,
The
a
previous
former
guest.
Welcome to lad.
guest. A former guest.
Trey.
Yes, I met
Okay.
Trey. I met Trey last year, and we had
Wait,
become
actually,
friends.
tell us about your first impression of Trey.
Okay, yeah, that's
That sounds kind of fun.
Oh,
Alright,
okay.
fair.
Okay. So, you met Trey in a previous episode. It was my freshman year. And it was around Halloween, and so Halloween night in in the place that I go to school is like it's a really big deal. Like it's like it lasts the entire weekend. Um, just everyone goes out for the entire weekend. We No one really goes to school on Monday anyways afterwards. But
Damn, what the hell?
I think it was a Saturday night. I think it was a Saturday night, and I was telling my friend like, "Oh, I really want to go out tonight, but I don't feel comfortable just going out the two of us." I was like two young women in like the city
Okay.
alone. And
Yep.
so she was like, "Yeah, I understand that." And we were like, "We need we need like guys to go out with us. Like we need bodyguards."
Right.
And so
You found
and
Trey. I don't know if Trey
Incredibly
is
strong.
bodyguard.
okay. She goes, "I know two guys, one of them, both of these people she played Overwatch with.
Super buff.
Ooh.
She
Oh,
played
okay.
Overwatch with.
Wait, you brought Overwatch players already, dude.
Oh,
Borderline Overwatch
okay,
player for
okay.
saving you in a pinch.
Okay, so her and I both play video games. Okay, she played Overwatch. I played Overwatch. I hadn't played with her yet since it was like very much still like the first semester, at
Right.
school. And so she goes, "I have two friends. Like they should be free. I'll ask them." She asked them. One of them was Trey, who like you know very well, and the other one was actually Brayden.
Okay.
So
Oh my. What
I
a
met Brayden.
combo to be.
I met
Okay,
Brayden and
sorry.
Trey for the first time on Halloween night.
Nice.
And
Wow.
so we just walked around the city and drank a lot and had a lot of fun. And then we just all slept over in Trey's apartment.
Damn.
Nice.
Damn.
Wait, what are your first
What
impressions
was
of him? Like, what do you think of him?
Oh my God. So
What did
the
you
first
think?
time I met Trey, it was Halloween, so like we were in costumes.
Okay.
Brayden was
what
wearing
was yeah. Mhm.
Okay, Brayden was wearing I'm saving Trey for last. Brayden was wearing like he was wearing like workout shorts and like a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Like he
Okay.
had no costume. He
Okay.
had no costume. He was just there purely because we had asked him to.
Okay.
And then Trey was wearing a onesie. A onesie that he said was from high school. So
Oh,
it didn't fit him very well. And it was also Winnie the Pooh themed.
okay. So not to
It
diss
looked kind of
Trey, but
crusty. Looked
I
kind of
don't
crusty.
know. I don't know if Trey grew much since high school.
Uh-huh.
Not to diss. Sorry. Okay. Wait. What
Um,
did you wear for Halloween?
I was a schoolgirl. I was a schoolgirl.
Oh,
And my other friend, she was Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Oh, nice.
oh, okay.
With
So
Chun-Li?
yeah, she got a lot of catcalls.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a lot of catcalls.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the first time I met both Trey and Brayden in the dynamic duo. And so Brayden and Trey had already like known each other before me,
Right.
and they had already known my friend. So it was like the first introduction between me and them.
Gotcha. Wait, is Braden in your grade or is Braden a year above?
Brayden's
you?
my age.
Okay.
We're both sophomores, yeah.
Gotcha.
Trey's the odd
Oh.
one out.
Braden is a
Just a boomer.
Yeah, Trey.
He's a boomer.
Yeah, Trey's just hanging out with the kids. Trey's like,
He's
Well, I mean, if Trey's a
he's
boomer, then
babysitting.
we're all
He's babysitting
Wait.
boomers.
us.
wait. So Trey, you're saying something? Trey, who is of like legal drinking age, brought around 3 freshmen drinking. Wait, that's a little sus.
Well,
It's okay. It's okay.
okay, well, it's like it's a little bit different because one of the like my friend, like she doesn't really drink. So like it was mostly me, Trey, and Brayden.
Oh, okay.
And Brayden, he doesn't have he doesn't have an ID to use. So he kind of like he was like kind of drinking like watered down like vodka, and like me and Trey were able to buy drinks out.
Damn. I mean, he's corrupting the youth, right? Trey's.
Not really, not really. Most of the time
Not
we were
really?
like asking Trey to like go out because like we were like
Damn.
yeah,
Okay.
we had to get him to go out.
He's enabling the corruption.
No, we're
He's
enabling him. No, it's not like that. We're
Enabling-
enabling him. We're enabling him.
Okay.
All right, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Right. That's pretty funny.
But
though.
what
That's
did you
good
think of
story.
him, like as a person, when you met him? Like has I
I
don't know.
thought like first of all, like I didn't know Trey was a senior, so like
Right.
he definitely
What
looked
did you
older.
think he was?
He looked like a junior to me. I don't know.
Okay.
He looked like a
That's pretty
junior.
close.
Well, because he didn't act, I don't know, maybe I thought seniors would be like more depressed or more sad or like I don't know. Like he just seemed like normal, so I was like maybe he's a junior or something.
I mean, Trey went through his sad arc in his freshman year, so
I've I've always said this to Trey, but like I think it's happened like once or twice in my life where like I've met someone and I've just like instantly clicked with them, and just like you just feel so comfortable like talking to them and like being around them, and like that's like Trey was the first person that like I clicked with like in college, so it was very special.
nice. Yeah, I think well, it's just funny because like now we've met a lot of Trey's friends like from college and then from like before we met him like when he was in middle school, and it's just interesting to see the different dynamics because he definitely well, okay, the one thing that was is always in common is that he's always like the brunt of the joke, or like how do you call it, like the straight man?
He's a punching bag. Do you think he's a punching bag?
Punching bag in a lot of the groups that he's in, but
if you would believe it, when he was at school with me, I was the fucking joke. Like everyone gave me the most shit.
Wait,
like
school,
it was
like
not
high school or college?
Like
In
college,
college.
Okay.
because I didn't know Trey in high school. Like
Interesting.
like
Yeah.
all like I was the butt. I was the butt of the joke.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, the dynamic completely flips in seating.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I'm aware.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
we can move on, I guess, from that.
Yeah, we're gonna do some very quick life updates before we move on to some of the topics that Amelia picked out. Do you guys have any life updates, real quick, since the last time we did this, which is about, I want to say like 2 months ago,
I forget
Yeah,
now.
so
month and a half.
I started work.
Yeah, you
Ooh,
moved to
Um,
Seattle, started work.
yeah. I think last time we did this, I might have been in Seattle. I don't know, but anyway, either way, I moved. I still haven't completely built everything. Like, I had like my bed frame delivered like a week ago, and then I just haven't built it. It's like just sitting
You
on my
sleeping on a
floor.
mattress on the floor?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
That's the yeah, the
That's what I did.
cliche junior dev
No,
Yeah.
no, Michael.
with your room completely empty except the bed on the floor,
Yeah, no
mattress on the
frame.
floor. I mean.
No
Yeah.
frame. Sad.
Yeah,
Um,
Sad.
but at work, I haven't really had to do much yet. I just started getting like finished my like training stuff, and I'm getting some like actual work right now, but it's still not that busy. Um, I don't know how much we want to go into the specifics, but like work's been like okay so far. I'm getting paid at least. A lot of
that's
money.
good. That's good.
that's a big. Yeah, that's the big thing.
That's
Like,
the big
damn,
thing.
I'm getting paid now.
Yeah. Well, I am a little bit worried because like I did hear that there's like high turnover rate in Amazon, and I don't think I'm doing like any like doing that well so far. But like at the same time, I don't. I guess it's like too early to say.
I think there's like a
Heard
pip
that's the
thing
case,
where
yeah.
like out of a team of 4 and 5, the bottom person, I think it's supposed to be bottom 20% or bottom 10% gets put on like probation.
Okay.
Wow, that's
Yeah, each
cutthroat.
year. Yeah. So that's why the turnover is high. But then ideally you don't want to stay more than 2 years anyways. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see,
yeah.
because it depends on like 2 years. I might stay more depending on like just because like the structure of my contract is incentivizes me to stay like 5 years essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll see, because I can always move teams in Amazon, and that's like pretty easy to do. So if I like right now, my current plan is kind of stay with my current team for like one project cycle, and then if I don't like it, then I'm gonna try to move.
Gotcha.
But yeah, anyway,
Cool.
that's about it for me.
What about you, Skylar? You got any updates?
Yeah, so for some context for Amelia, I work at General Motors. So I work at a car company. It has been pretty easy, I would say, but I think my boss is realizing that I find it easy, so he's like giving me more stuff to do, more
That's
varied
good.
stuff to do. My role, I well, okay, so initially, um, I didn't really know what my role was. Like I read the description, I was like, sounds kind of buzzwordy and like kind of like like that corporate talk that doesn't really mean anything.
Right, you're just getting hired because they have an
Yeah,
opening.
I'm like, okay, okay, okay. And then I like step into it and they're like, you do these things. I'm like, okay, and I understand. And then but now my role is like branching out into like way more other things. Um, and then what sucks is my mentor went on leave. His dad's getting chemo and he's like taking care of him. So everybody was like, oh shit, yeah, like take care, dude. Um, but what that means is all his work comes to me.
Oh, what the fuck?
So yeah, and then but to put this in perspective, so the way my job kind of works is uh there's like an entry level program that like rotates. So
Yeah,
every 6 months I get a new rotation, quote unquote.
yeah.
And that's within
Is
um
it called like the business
hmm?
leadership program or something?
It's called the technical rotation and career knowledge like
Okay,
track.
okay.
I think it's a pun because it's like a car company, right? Track. Anyway, um but yes, so for this first rotation, I'm what's called the controls integration engineer.
Mhm.
And at first, I think I said this last time, but I think the best way to describe my role is like as a human package manager for cars. But now I'm also like doing some like project management type stuff, which is
Oh,
Really?
like
That's
interesting.
actually like well, okay. It might suck in the sense that like you'll get a lot more work, but like it's like for career development, that's like really good. Because like you normally won't get an opportunity like that until like 5 or 10 years down the line.
well,
But
I
anyway,
mean
it's
that's
not
not
as high
necessarily
stakes
true
maybe
well,
as
I
it
guess it depends
sounds.
on like
because a lot of people get like fresh grad PM roles.
really.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I know a lot of people that like did PM internships and then straight up just go into PM.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't aware. My bad.
I well, I think the PM that Tiger's talking about and the PM that Michael's describing is is a little different. For me, it's
Like
like,
project management, right?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a lot of people that I don't know will come to me for information or like ask me to do things, and it's, I think, strictly speaking, outside of my scope. But I have time, and I do want to learn, so I like kind of help them out. Um,
Do you get a bonus for this
yeah,
shit?
there's a lot of like, hey, I need this. Who do I talk to? Kind of thing, and then there's like 50 million emails about that back and forth, and then I get pulled in somehow, and they're like, hey, do you know this? I'm like, no, but I can learn, I guess.
Yeah.
That has been my attitude, right? Like the other day, someone was like, "Hey, can you do this?" I'm like, "No, but I'll learn how to." He's like, "Cool, okay." Um, yeah, I think the best part is getting paid for sure. I get paid every 2 weeks. It's nice to see the money flowing in instead of out. Um,
Mhm.
Do you know if because we talked about this like right before, but do you know if you have plans to like move, or are you gonna stay?
like rotation wise or with the company?
No, 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 like with your parents.
Oh, probably not for a little bit. I haven't found any properties that I like enough. And then also I'm thinking like, do I really want a house? Like a house is a lot of maintenance, you
So
know?
difficult to become a homeowner now. Like it's impossible without aid or loans. Like
It's probably,
no one has that money alone. Like our generation doesn't have that money
Right.
alone.
I mean, Michael's going to have that money in like 10 years.
Oh, well, 10 years though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
our
Like in
age.
10 years, you're probably you might have a spouse. Like you're gonna want a house earlier than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like right now I'm renting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, so like technically I could buy a house in like 5 years if I wanted to, but it would be like my
Mhm.
entire
Well,
savings.
okay, you
Exactly.
don't really need to have the full value of the house up
Yeah,
front.
yeah, yeah. But actually, it's
Um,
not even that it's not even that you
It's the down payment.
yeah,
yeah.
like you shouldn't have the full because it's like more efficient to like mortgage or like I don't. There's some math on it. Like
I
essentially, there's
think it
like
depends on the interest rate. Depends on the interest
Yeah.
rate.
I mean, like, well,
Yeah.
it also depends on the property. Like, usually it's like 5 to 20% down. Obviously, the lower you go, like you have to pay mortgage insurance and all that. Um, so technically I could, but it's like that's just a house, right? I would have to like start paying for my own gas, electricity, water,
yeah,
internet,
yeah.
trash. Like the cost. Like I started doing the math. I was like, damn, I'm gonna have like extra $300 at the end of the month every day, every month. Like
Well, like are
that's
you
not worth
interested
it.
in renting or no? Like you just
I mean, I
Well,
think it's,
I would rent if it was so I have to drive like an hour to work every day, which
right.
fucking sucks. So I would rent like to be a little closer for this upcoming rotation, but the thing is I rotate in 6 months. So I don't know if they have like 6 month leases, like
no, yeah,
like a
Oh, okay.
short
I
term
see. I see.
lease. So I don't want to like move to like move again kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
yeah,
just kind of
that's true.
bite the
That's true.
bullet for this first rotation. And the next one should be like way closer, should be like 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, I
Um
see.
Yeah. An hour
and also,
both
Our
ways is
commute
gonna
is
suck
pretty
still.
terrible though. Yeah,
So an hour a day or 2 hours like a
yeah,
day?
2 hours like back and forth.
Yeah, 2 hours a day is pretty bad, but yeah.
it's pretty
That's what I
bad.
used to do.
Yeah, I try to work from home as much as possible.
That's
Um,
nice.
but the nature of my role is like that's like
Right,
it's
because you
not
have
like
to
I work
do
from
like
home.
engineering
Yeah,
stuff,
like I
right?
have
So
to be in the car, like updating the software and doing things and pulling parts from stuff, and it is like a relatively hands-on role. Um, and then I also don't know my schedule in advance that much. Like I know what meetings I'll have. But sometimes like the other day, I had nothing to do in the morning, and then 2 p.m. suddenly like six different people needed me to do stuff. I was like, wow, okay, this came out of nowhere. So it's kind of like I have to be there to like handle surprises.
yeah, I feel like that it's like that for like a lot of roles though. Like unless you're doing something that's like very, very um
Yeah.
like scheduled, I guess. Like basically most most like engineering type jobs, I guess, will have like a lot of like stuff that comes up just
Yeah,
out of
and
the blue.
I don't know. Like I realize that I want to be in a role that creates things, where it's like
Uh-huh.
creating designs, creating play modes, writing code. Like I want to like generate stuff, right? Like I'm more in like the validate, test, integrate side of
Yeah, but
things,
that
which
that because that's like the creation role stuff is more like it's supposed to be like a higher level job, right?
I know, yeah, yeah. So it's like for me, is for an entry level, I shouldn't complain too much. It's pretty good, and my boss has been uh chill, so that he realizes that I don't like necessarily things that are too repetitive. So he's trying to give me more like dynamic things to do. Um, I really hate busy work. I realize like same thing over and over again, or just handling
Yeah.
paperwork, or just
I
like
mean,
and even like tedious.
unfortunately, someone has to do it, so like it's gonna fall on the entry level jobs a lot of times.
Yeah. So on the bright side, I'm like learning how to write like scripts to like do my work for me. It's kind of fucking lit.
It's
Oh,
cool. It's
okay.
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay.
Um. Yeah. Oh, Michael and I are both disabled now. Michael stabbed his foot, and I have chronic
Yes,
back pain that
it's
came out of
not
nowhere.
disabled.
Well,
You have a
my
lot
foot
of
is like
back
mostly
pain?
healed now.
Oh,
If
really?
You have a lot of
yeah.
back pain, you said?
Yeah. I don't know what triggered it. I
That's
seriously don't know. I was
Oh, that
when you
dude, you're
It's not
fucking
good.
boomer.
when he
Dude, you're
said
actually a boomer.
Michael is disabled, I thought of the channel in Discord
Oh
when I
yeah.
first joined, and I messaged Trey, like I DM'd him, like it was like maybe 2 days after I met you guys, and I was like exploring like just the server, and I messaged him privately. I was like Trey, like I'm sorry if like I'm sorry that I'm asking this, or like you don't have to answer, but like is Michael actually disabled?
That's so funny. She
Wait,
said,
Skylar, are you 23 now or 24?
I'm 23. I will
Okay,
turn 24 in December.
okay.
Dude, I'm 21. Boomer.
Doxing my ass. Yeah.
Bro.
Bro.
Wait, Michael, your birthday is November?
Yeah. And
Dude, wait, so that means, dude, I'm turning 23 in mid-October. Dude, what the fuck?
yeah, or I'm like relatively young for my grade, so
Freaking sad.
And I am super old for my grade, so that doesn't help.
yeah. I mean,
Wait, how
it's
old
like
are
really
you,
doesn't matter.
Amelia? You're 19? 18?
Yeah,
19?
yeah.
19.
I'm 19.
19, bro. No way.
Skylar, you're actually a
We're
boomer.
gonna get we're gonna get in
Boomer.
trouble somehow.
No, what the fuck?
Okay. Live updates
We're
for
gonna have to deal
me.
with children.
Not not much, except I mean I have school again, right? And then for context, why I'm still in college for Amelia is that because I had 2 gap years after high
Oh,
school
okay.
because I have like military service in Singapore, which
Yeah.
we actually started this while I was still doing that. So if
Oh, wait,
old
you started the
episodes.
podcast while you were in service?
Yeah, I think we
Wait,
started
that's
at the
so
start of
funny.
COVID, right?
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
that's
had
so
like a whole episode that was like talking about like his like I think it was when
Yeah,
either when
That's
you
so
left or
fun.
like or when Tiger left or like when it was
yeah, it's
like
kind of
one
weird. We
month left
started
or
this.
whatever.
We started this like 2020. It's
Yeah.
almost 2023 now. Holy shit,
Yeah.
man.
Well, actually, to give some
Anyways,
context, how this podcast started was it was like was it like right before or right after lockdown started? Trash Taste was on episode like 2 or 3, I remember, and I
Well,
was like,
okay.
"Hey, I can do
In
this."
all fairness, I'll just say that like before that, we had always had talks of like doing
yeah,
it.
we basically. I feel like we always just like had long talking sessions just in
Yeah, yeah,
chat,
yeah.
and then we're basically just recording it now.
Right.
That's
Well,
all.
we
But
had talks of
I would
doing
originally.
something like this, like a podcast for like before then. But then, like, I think when we saw Trash Taste, we were like, okay, like we actually decided to like actually do it. And
Yeah.
well, okay,
Well, the other
obviously
thing was
nobody's actually
I
fucking
wasn't into
watching,
eating.
but like the point of it is just so that like we can go back and look back on like what we were thinking at like that point of our life. It's just like recording it.
yeah, it was actually pretty fun. I mean, it'll be fun in like 10 years to go back and listen to it
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's
the other
the.
part of it was
Anyways,
I wasn't in the server,
Yeah,
so
and
for me it was also an excuse to like talk to my friends. Um,
Um,
right.
And
Wait, really? You weren't? I thought you
No,
were.
not.
there was.
I was
It was actually on one of these episodes that we had a discussion about Overwatch, and then
Yeah, and then I think I mentioned offhand, I was like, I need people to play Overwatch with.
yeah,
And then they
Oh,
were like,
I
wait,
didn't
Trey
know
does
that.
that. And they added me.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, it's fun. Yeah, I'm back in school, busy with like internship applications and stuff.
Oh wait,
Two O's
I have a
later.
question, Tiger. Are you still
Yeah.
grinding TikTok or no?
So the
Okay,
answer is yes, but I
okay,
haven't posted recently.
okay,
I haven't
okay.
posted recently. Because okay, I took a slight break from singing, like for like 2 weeks before I came back here, and now I'm trying to get back in a
Okay.
singing shape.
Yeah, all right.
Which yeah. But
Nice.
yeah, the answer is yes. Yeah, I don't have too much. Do you have any life going ons, Amelia? Like stuff that you're doing?
Um, no, not really. Just going to classes. I'm thinking of studying abroad my junior year. So
Oh, nice.
next the next spring is when I'm thinking of studying abroad. Um,
Well,
Okay, studying abroad.
oh, and I
What
also have
do you know
to
where?
have to start house hunting for an apartment off campus because
Ooh,
next junior year we also get kicked off of campus, so I need to
Right.
find apartment or house.
Wait,
gotcha.
do you know where you're thinking about studying abroad?
I'm between Japan and Korea.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
okay. Wait,
Mhm.
maybe when you're in Japan, we'll like pull the fucking Japan trip out.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
possible?
No, I'm
Well,
gonna have
We've
classes. That's not
literally
fun.
we've
That's so
literally been
fair.
talking about the Japan trip
we
since
could do it
like
during
the
like
podcast
Golden Week or
started.
some shit.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about it when the podcast started? We are like, yeah, let's do the Japan trip
Well,
after
I mean,
COVID.
I've been wanting to go to Japan for fucking forever, but like we literally, like I was gonna go like this summer, but then like I was planning on going because it was my graduation and my mom's 50th. So we were
You
like,
thought
okay,
it just went anyways.
no, like it was literally locked down, right? Like
Oh, right, it was
the but
closed.
well, okay, you could go, but it's like on a guided tour basically. Because Japan
Right,
has had the
wait.
strictest COVID policies for foreigners, like tourism and
Oh,
stuff.
really?
So yeah,
The
they don't let people
Olympics
in.
was this year, right?
Yeah, I think
Oh, it's
so.
2020, right?
Wait,
I thought it was 2020
no, it
Olympics.
was like delayed because of COVID.
Oh.
Oh no, wait, was it
Was it?
delayed to 2021?
Yeah, I don't
I
know if
don't
it was
remember.
2021 or 2022. I don't remember.
I don't remember. Anyways, wait, no, I think you can go now because I was in like when I had a transit through Tokyo, there were like a lot of just like people
Yeah, I think
going
it's
to college.
opened up like within the last month or like something.
Oh,
If you guys
But
watch like offline TV, like I started watching
wait, you
them
watched
like
off on TV?
I started watching them a few months
Police.
ago, like during the semester, like maybe like yeah, like maybe like a month ago really, like right before I moved back. Um I started watching it
Yeah,
and like they recently went to Japan. So like all
right.
of them, like Lily, Michael,
Yeah,
Toast, like they all have Japan vlogs now. And like in the first Japan like video that they released, they talked about like how they're one of the first people to like they're one of the first people to be able to go to Japan after like the big lockdown.
yeah.
yeah, well, so like it was
I
fun
didn't
for
know
me.
you watched off on TV. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So it was really hard for me to go. So like I just decided like fuck it. I just took my trips like during the school year and then just chilled during the summer.
Mhm. I was supposed to go to Japan with my brother after I graduated high school. Like we were gonna go the summer between um like my graduation and college, but then like
Hmm.
COVID happened like junior
Yeah,
year, so like we didn't do that.
Mm.
yeah, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Japan's really far for you guys, but I've been to Japan twice because it was closer to where I lived in the
Yeah,
past.
like I think the flight
This is
um from Massachusetts is like
mm,
15 hours or something, but then for my brother when he went to Japan, it was like 8 or 9 hours. I don't know.
oh, okay.
It was less. It was way less because he didn't have to like go as far.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's I've been to Japan once, but it was before I was weeb, so
Mm.
it would
Damn.
definitely
The thing
be
is that when I
different now.
went The thing is, when I went to Japan, I was a little bit of a weeb. Like I was learning Japanese. I was like, I could read the characters and like I read like manga and watched anime and stuff. But now I'm not a weeb, so
No longer.
no longer.
Yeah.
Reformed now.
Ex weeb.
He's
I'm a
formed.
weeb.
Weebdom.
Reformed.
X?
I was
What
a
happened
weeb
to
in middle
you?
school.
What happened to you?
He reformed in
I
high
don't know,
school.
man. Yeah,
You
reformed
were
in high school.
nice. What?
Yeah, because at the start of high school, I was still like reading nisekoi and stuff,
No,
right?
but that was like the
my
last
height.
thing that you read.
Yeah,
Right.
that was like the last thing. Yeah,
I
and then I
think
stopped like in junior year, I think.
what was
Once
the
it
height of
ended,
all of
yeah.
yours? Like what was the height? Like the peak of all of yours, like anime or manga, like obsessions, or if it's
Definitely, like,
right now,
middle
you could say right
school.
now too.
Middle school when I was into like all of the shonens, and I was getting into
Mhm.
more of the hipster, and like this is highly rated. I was like following the cycles, and then I stopped.
What about you, Skylar?
Or like middle school, early high school. I think it's like study dropped off more and more. I still watch some stuff here and there, but not nearly as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And I think it's about like finding things I haven't seen before and finding new experiences and stories, right? Because
Yeah.
after your 10th harem show where the girl is like, yeah, and slaps the guy, it's like, okay, I've seen this before.
It's literally the same thing.
Right?
Wait, Scott, do you still consider yourself a weeb now?
Yeah.
Do you
I know it's
identify
Okay.
as
right. I
weeb?
identify as weeb.
Okay. Okay.
Oh shit! One of my colleagues at work is a huge. Well, he's not a huge weeb, but he's a weeb, and we get to talk about stuff. He's watching Fullmetal Alchemist right now.
Oh,
nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very good.
Do you want to say, Amelia? Because my answer might be a little bit longer.
Oh, I think the peak of mine was also like middle school. Like, at my peak, I was like going to like conventions a lot. Like,
Damn.
I spent like probably like $500 on like convention tickets alone. Like,
Ooh.
Damn.
I went to a lot of conventions, like multiple per year. Like,
Dang.
and then I also like I'd also cosplay at them. So when I was like, how old was I in middle school?
Oh.
Oh
like
wait,
when I was like
isn't that kind of fucking sus for fucking?
Yeah, that's sus. Yeah, isn't it like
Yeah.
13 or
18-year-old
14?
men?
When I was 13
Yeah.
when I was 13/14, yeah, like I was cosplaying, and like there was one time, and like I go with my mom, like I go with my parents, like I'm 14, like I can't go alone, like
Right,
my
of
parents are
course.
there, like
Right.
my parents are there, so there was one time where
Parents are okay with you dressing up in those outfits.
like I'm a kid, like I'm not whatever you're thinking, it's not like that, like
Okay, sorry, let me clarify. Which characters did you
Skylar
cosplay?
is
you know, I was
Skylar,
gonna say I
sus.
was literally a kid, like whatever you're thinking, it's
Skylar's
not
sus.
that.
Skylar,
It's not
sus.
that.
No, it's anime
Sus.
characters.
It's not
Anime
that.
characters have
Skylar,
some risky
Skylar.
It's not
outfits.
that.
Risky
No,
outfits.
Skylar, you're sus.
I did Tokyo Ghoul once. I did Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay.
I did the girl ghoul Tuka.
Otoka, yeah.
And then I also did Hanji from Attack on Titan. I
Ooh.
did the full, like I made the props of like the
That's
3D
badass.
maneuvering gear. And then the
Nice.
last one that I did, I think this was 8th grade. This was the last time I cosplayed. I did a Kali from League of Legends.
Nice.
Ollie.
Well, okay, her
That's
outfit
pretty
is
hot.
kind of revealing, isn't it?
The one that I wore, it was her like Lunar New Year skin, so it was just like a red like robe. It
Okay.
wasn't like a ninja suit. It was like a pretty like Chinese like red robe. But there was
Interesting.
one time
Cool.
it was when I was, I think it was it when I was a collie? I think it was when I was a collie, and there was like this guy who had a camera, and like at a convention, like everyone has cameras, like
Right,
everyone's
of
just taking
course.
photos. It's very normal.
Yeah.
Guy with a camera comes up, and he's like, "Oh, like I love your cosplay. Like, would you mind if like I took some of your photos and put them on my website?" And like, I don't
Ooh.
remember where my mom was. I think I might have been waiting for her like outside the bathroom. Like I was just sitting outside the bathroom waiting for her.
Okay.
And so I was like, "Oh, like I don't really know." Like I was unsure. Like I was like and like he like he like gave me a card. He's like, "This is my card. Like, this is where you can like see all like my photos from like this convention, blah blah blah." And like, I just like kind of took it and was like, "Oh, okay." And like, he took like 5 or 6 photos of me, and then he was like, "Thanks so much." And like, I remember I like didn't tell my mom like what happened while she was like gone.
Uh-huh.
And so like when I got home, I like looked up the website on like the card and like didn't fucking exist. And
Oh,
like
what the hell?
it was fake. It was literally fake.
Ooh,
It
that's
was
really
like,
very
sus.
sus.
and I like think I mean, I don't think about it. This is the first time thinking about it in a while, but like I was like I remember being very scared and I was like, well, that just happened.
I mean, I guess it's
It
just
was like
like some
afterwards. It was like 5, 6 hours afterwards when I like figured out like this was very sketch and not real.
That is not good.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't tell your mom, right?
No.
Okay. She would
No,
like
no, no.
not. She would not let you go to another convention.
Well, I think that was like one of my
Just
like
straight up loud.
I probably went to 2 afterwards, and then when I was in high school, there was just like way more homework. Um, I
Oh,
I
okay.
had more friends. Like I went to conventions because like I was like
I
pretty
had more
alone. So
friends.
Okay.
like in high school, I had more homework. I had more friends. It's not that like multiple times in high school, I was like, oh, I would like to go back, but it just felt like I didn't ever have the time to go. Because when you pay for a ticket,
Mhm.
you can either pay for one day or like the full weekend. And like the full weekend is obviously like the better deal, like money wise.
Yeah.
Um, but just like devoting a full weekend, like I can't imagine right now devoting like a full week. Okay, actually, the last convention that I've been to not an anime convention, but I've been to PAX East like multiple times since,
Oh, interesting.
which I really like PAX East a lot.
Well, I've always wanted to go, but never been to like a full public convention. Like I've gone to the ones
Really?
where,
Anime
yeah,
or
no,
gaming or either.
either.
Oh, okay, okay.
The only ones I've been to were ones hosted by my college, but I was an event like a booth.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I set up like a booth there because I was like part of the club president or like whatever club staffing, I guess, for like boothing. So like I've been to like a few that like my school hosted, but like they were always because I was working there, so I never really had a chance to look around much.
Yeah.
Um, and I've never been to one like personally, just because like it's never been convenient for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And also my
It's really
parents like
hard
look
because
down on my hobbies, so like
transportation too. Oh, parents.
yeah,
Yeah, I was lucky that my mom she just wanted to see me happy. So she would spend like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like all weekend, just like basically like follow me around, like just like wherever I wanted to walk around, she would just follow me. So it was really
yeah,
nice.
that's cool.
And she would
'Cause
help me
That's
make
cool.
my costumes too. Actually, my last one, my unfinished one was Reaper from Overwatch.
oh
I
cool.
had made I
Oh,
had the
I
guns.
should have told Genji to try to get the Genji one. We get it on like a full team.
I had 3D printed the guns, like out of plastic, painted
Uh-huh.
Oh,
them.
cool.
I made like a leather jacket. I had the Reaper mask. Like, the only thing that I was really missing was like I just never went to another convention after I made the cosplay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably is literally my house still.
I was gonna go to AX this summer, but I
hmm
didn't have anyone to go with, and I just didn't want to go alone. So I was
There are
just
some
like,
really big conventions in California.
yeah, there are. Like Comic Con and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
AX
yeah,
were the two big ones that come to mind.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. Like I well, first off, like I never really wanted to go alone,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I understand that.
so like I don't know. Like it was hard for me to like find people that I wanted to go with that also lined up for time wise because like
Yeah.
when Comic Con happened, I was normally like working for internships or like traveling or like whatever like other stuff. Um,
Mhm.
and this summer, like when I wanted to go to AX, like no, I had no one else to go with because like my close friend who I would have gone with was in India at the time. So like
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
it just didn't work out time wise. But
Time constraint, and they're also expensive too. They're just expensive.
well, money wasn't that much of a concern when I was in college. Plus, like now, because like I'm making money now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, like it's just like timing has never really worked out that well. Plus, like,
Mm-hmm.
I would never have been able to go like when like with my parents because like I've always had to like hide my hobbies for the most part because they don't approve of me playing games or like watching anime. They think it's like a fucking waste of time or it's
Mm-hmm.
childish. Actually, it's the one that they always say. But yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so moving on
Surprised
to
you've never been though.
Yeah.
no, I've never been. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We got to
Michael,
take Michael to a
Michael,
convention.
I'll go. Yeah, I was gonna say, Michael, I'll go. I'll go
Yeah, I'll
with
go
you.
with you,
I'll
Michael.
go. In
Okay.
I
solidarity.
will
In
not go.
solidarity.
I will not go.
What
Yeah, I mean,
the?
I'm actually down if people want to go to like
Yeah, you
AX or
guys have
whatever.
fun. You guys have
Sometime
fun.
if we wanna try to organize something around AX or whatever. But anyway, answering the original question, like when was I the most weeb or like when was I most into anime and manga? Um, like I feel like I've never really like waned, but like my focus has always has been shifting
Oh,
continuously.
okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
like I started anime probably like relatively late compared to you guys because I started watching anime like the last year of middle school and like right before I got into college, like literally like the semester before, or not college, before I got into high school, the semester before I got into high school. And so like I watched the most anime during like that summer before got into high school, plus like the first couple of years I was in high school. And like during that first period, like it's like the when you can discover all the great shows that like have come out. So like you're watching fucking like infinite like shows, but then like
Anime.
yeah, but then like it like tapered off a lot for me, and then I like towards my junior and most like my senior year, um, it started being like I still would watch a lot of anime, but then I started reading like a lot of manga as well, and then like into college, it started like being more like I would read a lot of manga and then watch a lot less anime. And then in college, I also like started learning Japanese. Um, so like my
Mm-hmm.
Japanese is like conversational right now, I would say. Like,
You can carry us in Japan?
yeah, like I
What?
can understand like Japanese, like basically, like probably like 90% of stuff, outside of like
Mhm.
specific language things. But like if in terms of like general conversation, I can actually like probably understand everything. When it comes to like specific vocab, like I'm like not that strong, but
Mhm.
then like when COVID hit, there was some other stuff that happened, which like the manga site that I used like went down, so like I stopped reading manga.
The manga site just was gone.
Yeah, well, because they got like there's like they got like DDoS or whatever, and so like a bunch of their like files got leaked and stuff, so they had to like remake their entire site. So they were
Mhm.
gone for like 6 months or whatever. So I stopped reading manga, and instead, like during COVID, I started watching VTubers a lot. So technically, it's not anime or manga, but like it's like the closest thing, I guess. And so now I watch VTubers the most, and then I
Mhm.
probably read
Yeah.
manga I read manga more than I watch anime, and then I watch anime the least. But I still like
Oh.
am like in that like hobby interest space like very heavily. So
Mhm.
I spend like most of my time still doing a lot of that like anime manga related stuff.
Mhm.
And you've transitioned a lot over to VTubers now, right?
Yeah, like right now VTubers are like the majority. Like I spend the most time out of the three. Like it's like mostly VTubers, and then like
Mhm.
I still read manga. Like I keep up with a lot of the manga that I've been reading for like the last like 5 years. And I still watch some anime. Like I've actually been watching more anime than I was like last year because like now I'm watching anime with other people, and like there are some shows that I watch alone, but like watching like with Trey or like with like the entire seating group, it like makes me watch more anime than I normally would. 'Cause it's
Mhm.
just like more enjoyable to do things with your friends. But yeah,
Have you ever given money to like um VTubers? Like have you
I've bought merch,
Have you
donated anything?
simped
but I haven't
Have
ever?
super
you
chatted.
Have you simped?
yeah, have you
I have
simped?
not super chatted. Um,
No?
I
How much money
have
like
bought
have
merch.
you donated? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Merch.
I've
Okay.
bought merch because like
Okay, okay.
I feel like for me, I would probably never super chat because like I know it's not like a waste of money or whatever, but like I would rather, like, if I'm going to support the VTuber, and that's like the
Mhm.
primary goal, like I would rather buy their merch because it gives me something back. And also, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure buying merch will give them more of a share of the money, or join their membership because again, like I get something back, quote unquote, even if probably membership I wouldn't even use that much, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I
merch
see. I
is
see.
merch is like the stuff I would spend the money on.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Mm.
The follow up to Michael's answer, though, I think like the way I am kind of enjoy anime is changed less. Like it's kind of shifted around, similar to him, where he's like gone more towards manga and then now towards VTubers. Like I do more like Japanese culture stuff now. Like,
Like
well,
what?
I haven't for a while, but like kendo for me is like the big thing. I started that when I was in college, and shifting more towards like consuming manga for sure. I didn't get done the VTuber whole, but
What
yeah,
about Japanese like TV shows and movies?
I've
Japanese.
never really been interested in that kind of stuff.
I'm a big fan of the Rurouni Kenshin movies. There's a lot.
But that's
That
like,
was originally like a manga first. So I don't
yeah.
really count that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean like live action, TV shows, movies. There's some
I've
pretty popular ones on
watched
Netflix.
I
There's
watched a few like when I was on like the plane and stuff.
uh
And like there have been some like I watched this movie about um like a love story kind of love movie, I guess, like
Oh,
romance movie, and it was like okay, but I just thought it was like the most like 6 out of 10. Like I watched this because I was on the plane kind of movie.
wait, what was it? Was it Initiation Love?
I don't remember what it was
Okay,
from.
because I watched I watched the movie on a plane as well, and I was like, this is the most 6 out of 10 ever. Hilarious if it was the same movie.
I mean, it definitely could have been. It's just like whatever.
You remember the plot vaguely?
It was something about like they were studying for like high school entrance exams or something like that.
Oh, high school? Okay, never
Or
mind.
no, sorry, college entrance exams. They were in high school. Sorry.
Oh, actually, okay. Yeah, because I remember it was like an older then there's a fat guy who got with a hot chick, and then he like slimmed down and became hot for some reason. They like swapped actors, it was like completely different actor. And then he's hot. And then at the end it's revealed he like cheated on his hot girlfriend, and then the other girlfriend came in and was like,
What
"Oh,
the
this is
fuck?
your initiation love." And I was like, "What the hell is this movie?" Um okay, so
Fuck.
that wasn't it? That wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Damn.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. All
It was a
right.
weird movie.
Okay.
I'll add
Um.
I'll add to that like a lot of the stuff that I do now in general has always been like fueled by like the anime mangas kind of um like me starting to play like Genshin or like drawing like that kind of stuff is like been largely fueled by like my like anime and manga interest like originally. Um, so like even if they are only like tangentially related, like that is like a lot of what I spend my time doing nowadays. So yeah.
Okay.
As a broader discussion point, what brought you guys into anime? Like, what about anime appeals to you and continues to appeal to you?
Who's going first?
It's not me because I don't
Oh.
watch it.
Well, but you at one point you started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, I thought it was like
Why did you start?
And
I thought it was good.
Tiger, why did
Like
you stop? Why did you
Yeah.
stop?
Oh,
uh, I mean, it just
he's
wasn't
reformed.
like when I watch it, it's just not as entertaining. So I just stopped watching it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
So when I originally started, I didn't really understand like the concept of like anime until like I was like 14. And I watched like a bunch of The Simpsons, and basically the website I watched The Simpsons on um, had a bunch of anime on it, and so I started watching anime, and like I just thought like, oh, this is like kind of cool, and so I kept watching it, and that was partially because like I hadn't ever experienced like media that much, like I just wanted to watch stuff. So like, because like I watch a bunch of The Simpsons, and I watch like well, what's the show called? Modern Family.
Oh my gosh,
Modern
it's so
Family's
good.
good. I
It's
really
so
like Modern
good.
Family.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
So
god,
like,
it's so
but like
good.
those were like the like I'd watch like cartoons and like that Modern Family, like Big Bang Theory and fucking Simpsons, and that was it. Like I hadn't
I
really watched much
really
of
enjoyed
anything
Big
else.
Bang Theory.
Big
Um,
Bang is this little aged like milk, but it's okay.
wait, what?
I know it's like cool the shit on Big Bang now, but dude, back when I was in middle school, I was like, this was funny.
Oh yeah, I thought it was
When
funny
you
at the
go back
time,
to
but
watch it now, it's kind of like not that funny though.
yeah,
I
yeah,
never
yeah.
got
Modern Family is still really funny,
I never
in
got
my
into
opinion.
the Big Bang Theory. Like it didn't hit. It didn't hit the same as Modern Family did.
I
I mean,
remember
Modern
seeing
Family is
that.
definitely better, I think.
Modern
But
Family is way better. It's not even
yeah.
close, in my
Anyway,
opinion.
so I had only watched these shows and I didn't like. So like the only media I'd consumed were like cartoons, like fucking like SpongeBob and stuff, and then like Dragon Ball and stuff, like which I at the time I didn't know was anime. But, like it probably like a lot of it was fueled because Dragon Ball was like one of my favorite shows growing up, and that probably planted like a seed for me to be like more predisposed to liking anime. Also because I grew up playing Pokemon. Pokemon was like a huge part of my life.
Mhm.
I mean, it still is, but anyway. So like when I started watching anime, it was like just like I was interested in it and I thought it was cool. And like when I compare anime to like Western shows, because like I've given Western shows like a try like in more recent years and like tried to watch other stuff. Like I feel like there are good things. Like I like some stuff in Western media as well. Like I really liked The Incredibles. What was that? Was that the
Oh, the Pixar movie?
no? Is it Incredibles? No. Invincible. Invincible. Is that
Invincibles. Oh, right. Invincibles. Yeah, yeah.
Invincible? The superhero parody show that was
Mhm.
really really good. And then like Arcane was also really good. I mean these are animated shows I guess, but oh and I liked Squid Game as well.
What
Even though it's
game?
like kind of cheesy or like whatever. But like when I watched like Game of Thrones, I thought Game of Thrones was just like not that good.
What?
Yeah, that's an opinion I don't agree with, but that's okay.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
yeah, I mean, I guess unpopular opinion, but like when
Especially since because you watched season 1 and 2, which are like one
yeah,
of
I
the better
watched
ones, I
season
think.
1 and 2, and I just thought it was like boring and slow paced, and
Damn.
I felt that like one of the reasons I don't like Western media as much is because like oh or like at least Game of Thrones specifically is that like I felt like there was way too many fucking sex scenes in the show, and
It's
it
the
just like
plot. It's plot development.
it
It's
like
character development.
it like took like it was
I'm
too
kidding.
much, right? Like it was like
I'm
it took
kidding.
away from
I'm
the
kidding.
experience for me so much so that like I didn't want to watch it because
Yeah.
like it just like felt like every every third scene was a sex scene and it didn't feel like I was like watching like a show. It just felt like I don't know, like it just took away too much from the enjoyment of the show for me. And like
Interesting.
Marvel movies, like it's not surprising that I don't like Marvel movies because like I watched a few. I just thought they were boring because like I don't like shonen anime either. So like there's no there's no reason I would also like Marvel movies because it's like same genre basically. Um, so like anime to me has just been like the premium medium of entertainment, even though like
Premium medium, dude.
Premium.
compared to like Western movies, I guess. Even though there are movies that I've liked, but in general I just think anime is more to my taste. Um, Although, in fairness, like I watch mostly fucking YouTube anyway for most of my content. No.
All right. What about you, Emilio? About you
Oh,
know, why you started
the
watching?
first time I remember the like I remember the first time the first anime I ever watched. It was I was in first grade. Um, I'm still at the age where like I have like a bedtime before school,
Yeah.
like 8 or 9 o'clock or something. And my older brother, he's not alive anymore, but well, my older brother would like he had a TV in his room. His My older brother is 12 years older than me, so he was on like he was like a third parent kind of. So like it would be like 8:30, 8:40 at night, like my bedtime's coming up. I hung out with him like all the time. Like that's probably where my love of video games came from because like he was Twitch before Twitch came out. Like he was Twitch before I knew about Twitch existed. Like I would just hang out in his room all day just watching him play video games. Like his favorites were like Until Dawn, The Last of Us, Left 4 Dead, Far Cry, like Dishonored, Assassin's Creed, all of those games. Like he loved all of those games. And like I just grew up watching them and sometimes playing them with him, even though like I didn't play very well. But
Right.
he would still like let me play with them. So sorry, but back to anime. It's nearing my bedtime. I'm hanging out with him, watching him play video games probably. And then my mom comes in and she's like, okay, like it's time to get ready for bed. And he's like, no, like we're gonna watch like a TV show together. And she's like, no, like she has to go to bed. And he's like, just let her watch this TV show with me, and then she can go to bed. So we watched the first episode of it's on Netflix. So first episode of Soul Eater on Netflix, English dub, and then we watched the first episode, and then my mom comes in, and she's like, "Okay, it's time to go to bed." I probably threw like a temper tantrum, and I went to bed. And then the next night, we watched the second episode before bed. Like, so this became like a ritual to extend my bedtime. Like, we would always start it like when I had to go to bed, so I could have like the extra half hour, like the extra 20 minutes, like just staying, like just like sitting in his room, like on his bed, like watching Soul Eater right before bed, and like we watched all of Soul Eater like that. That was the first time I watched anime, and then I just kept watching it because like my brother normalized so many of these things for me, like playing video games, like normalized. Like I watched him play like every Legend of Zelda game on GameCube.
Oh, nice.
Although he didn't let me watch Majora's Mask because he said it would scare me.
Majora's Mask is kind of a scary game.
He didn't let me watch that. But he let me watch like Assassin's Creed where he like murdered people. So I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
Dude,
my
first-
introduction.
Your first anime was Soul Eater, because that's mine too.
Soul Eater's so good, and then so I don't know, when I was older, I went back and watched it, or rewatched it in Japanese, not the dub.
Good, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, I also watched it with a family member. It was my aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about Soul Eater. I
It's
guess
just really hype. It's really hype.
it was so fucking cool.
The fight scenes were really good.
yeah.
Fight scenes were really good.
Dude, that soundtrack still slaps. So many years later.
The openings, I love the openings.
Yeah, Soul
Good.
Eater slaps.
I think they came out with like a prequel, no, not a prequel. They came out with like a spin-off
Fire
of
Force?
No, they came out with a spin-off
Soul
of
Eater
Soul
9.
Eater. Yes,
That
and it
was
was
so
dog
bad.
shit. It
That
was
was
dog
totally-
shit.
I was so disappointed. Oh my god!
It got terrible reviews. It didn't even last like one season, I don't think. Like it was so
Oh,
bad.
Okay, actually,
I-
I want to bring up something. Or go ahead and finish, but I want to bring up something after you're done.
Well, I was just saying that like I was so hyped when it came out because I was like, oh, I
Yes.
love Soul Eater. It gives me like such nostalgia. Like it's gonna be
Exactly.
so fun. And then it was just such a letdown. That was it.
Dude, oh my god! Remember that one scene? It was like episode 3 or 4. There's that.
I don't know if I went that far. I don't know if I got that far.
At first, I was like, okay, fine. It's like Charlie new cast, sure, whatever. Like the characters like are in the background. That's good enough, dude. And then episode 3 or 4 comes around. Maka shows up, and the animation. She had like a fight scene. It was like a fucking. Oh my god! It was so bad. It was like 3 frames a second, maybe.
Oh my
And,
god.
like, these animators did not try at all, and I was at that
That's
point.
so
I was like, you know what?
sad.
This is a disappointment. I'm not continuing this anymore.
Well, okay, so one of the things that you just brought up was like, oh, it's so hype and like the openings and stuff. Like one of the things I feel like that has like my brain's been like fucking like rewired to like, because like when I like watch Western shows like and stuff, like I don't the same things that are cool in anime are like not present, and so like a lot of the things that I really liked about those like about anime, like you know, like the openings and like whatever, like these animation, like the fight animation or whatever, like that aren't present in Western shows, like it becomes like more and more noticeable. And so like my brain's been rewired to like the stuff that is in anime, and so like that's part of why I feel like it keeps me in the like fucking loop of like anime only stuff. Although I'm like relatively unique in that aspect, I guess. Like I don't think there's that many people who like only watch anime
I
and
definitely think
nothing
anime
else.
has a more unique style when it comes to like handling hype and stuff. Like do you like when they like shout their attack names and like power up and stuff?
Well, I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
watch
like,
shonen, but like, yeah, like that kind of stuff, like that exists.
you get more control when you're literally animating it, like when you're
Yeah,
creating it, than when you're working with actors.
that's
Like,
that's. I mean, that's part of why I feel like the shows I've liked that are Western shows, like Arcane and Invincible,
mhm.
like the medium of storytelling that's available to you in animation, I feel like is just a wider range.
Yes, yes.
But I mean, I don't know.
I do like animation in general. Though. I remember like before anime, I was really into Ben 10 and Transformers.
Yeah, I mean, I like cartoons as a kid as well.
Yeah,
I think that's just like something that you grow up with, right?
that was a long tangent.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, Amelia, do you
Um,
want to tell us about your time being a
wait, wait.
professional esport
I,
Pro
player?
gamer.
I was gonna, I
Did you
was
have another
gonna do a
point?
different product. I was not different. I was gonna do a different topic, but I can talk about
Okay,
that a
Okay,
okay,
little
sure,
okay,
sure,
okay.
bit.
sure, sure.
No, no,
Yeah.
no,
What's
yeah, yeah.
the
So,
topic you want to talk about?
I was just gonna say, like, when I first joined the server, um, so like one difference when I first joined the server versus when like in the fall, like when I first entered college, last fall when I first entered college, was like when I would when I'd stuttered in real life, like I had people who would like make fun of me or like mock me or mimic me.
Hmm.
And like when I would stutter like within the Discord server, like no one ever said anything or like no one even like no one made a big deal of it or no one acknowledged it. And like I remember asking Trey about it. I was like, "Oh, like I really like how your friends don't make fun of me or like make me feel bad." And he was like, "Oh, well, like um Tiger actually has a stutter and like we all just like don't care like none of us care." So like basically. So like I
Yeah,
guess I was gonna say like Tiger, like I didn't know that you started when Trey said that.
yeah. I used to stutter more. I actually got made fun of stuttering in the military, like during basic
Yeah. It's
military
like
training,
people are
which
so
really
fucked
sucked.
up. It's
But I
like
haven't made fun of before because I think I always had like good friends in school
oh,
and afterwards, and
oh
so I haven't been made fun of after that either. But it was just in the military and it was pretty annoying. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like like
cool.
I'm not gonna lie, like in the beginning when I first met Brayden, he made fun of
Yeah,
me like two or three times too, and like I had to tell
really,
him. Yeah, I had to
dude.
tell him like,
Braden.
well,
I mean, the podcast. We haven't talked about Braden on the podcast, but Braden is a little,
he
Such.
made fun of me in the
Braden's a
beginning, but
little
I just
sus.
like told him like, hey, like it bothers me. Like I don't think it's funny and it bothers me like when you said that and he like stopped doing it. Like just because Brayden jokes a lot, so you just have to tell him like what's not a joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in
Yeah,
general, I feel like I, I like the thing is, stuttering is not something that like you can control, right? It's not like, oh, you made the conscious decision to stutter, so I'm not gonna like make fun of you for that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna make fun of you for things that like are outside of your control. And plus, it's generally a sore topic for people who have that kind of stuff because it's just like there is a good chance that you may have been made fun of for it before, and like why would I like it's not like it's something that really matters anyway, so
Yeah,
there's no
like
reason
yeah,
for
I, I was really surprised when I got to college and like people were like making fun of me. I was like, why are like we still doing this? like
yeah.
yeah.
why are you still doing this? It's not funny anymore. I don't
Yeah.
know. It like I don't know. So that's one thing that I like appreciated when I met you guys.
That's great.
And the
Wait,
bar is
when did
really
you
low. Like
start
they didn't make
stuttering?
Oh, wait, what? Sorry.
When did you start stuttering?
I have been stuttering since like kindergarten. At first, I like they thought like at first I was put into like a sped program because they thought I had like I had special needs because I would barely talk, and when I talked, like I stuttered. So I like was put into like a sped program in like first grade, and my mom like talked to the principal and was like, "My daughter is not sped. She's probably more intelligent than like half of her class." Like she like had to talk with the principal, had to talk with like the school counselor and like the school psychologist and like a speech pathologist, and like got me like out of that like program. They like put me in it for like 1 week. My mom
Okay.
like got super mad, but then um afterwards I just had a speech pathologist all from like first grade to like high school,
Ooh, okay.
and it did
That's
not help.
interesting.
It did not help.
Yeah, I had a speech therapist for a little bit and it didn't help. So I was like, never
I
mind.
don't know.
Overall, it got a lot better. I used to stutter way more than I do
Yeah,
now.
even
Well, so
even when I
what
first met you, like Tiger, it's been like it's like a huge diff from now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
what I've learned is that stuttering is highly due to stress. Like like it's a lot of stress. Like how like I guess like how comfortable you are. Like for me, I actually stopped stuttering for 2 years between sixth grade and seventh grade,
Really?
and yes, for 2 years it was. I thought it was gone. I wish it was gone forever, but like for 2 years, I never stuttered once, and like I was like, oh my gosh, like it's done because I had always been told like adults eventually grow out of it, and it's much more common in adolescence. Um, but I stopped for those 2 years, and then I came back around high school. I kept asking myself like why it came back, like what was different, I guess, and I think just like confidence and like self esteem was a big difference. Like I just feel like in sixth and seventh grade, I was just doing things that I enjoyed. I didn't have a ton of friends, but like the friends that I had were really close. And then when I got to high school, I guess like more insecurities come out because you're in high school, and so that's
Right.
when like my stuttering like re-picked back up, and it yeah. It
I
used to
will
be
say,
severe to the point that I would stutter in like every single sentence. Now it's more like every half an hour.
yeah, I will say, Amelia,
Okay.
when you first joined the Discord, because I know like Trey told me about this later on, saying like, oh, she like appreciated that we didn't make fun of her
Oh
for
yeah.
it, but like, when you first joined, like I didn't even notice that you stuttered really like at all. So like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like even like a big deal, because like when I first met Tiger in high school, like it was that was probably like much more of like noticeable where he would stutter like I don't know like every couple minutes I guess, but like
And also like it's different when you're online and through microphones and like you don't see like you can't see their face. Like it's a whole different
yeah
thing. Instead of
Uh,
instead of it becoming an audio cue like where you hear me like struggling like with a word, instead of it being like an audio thing, it becomes like it, you're watching like their faces like struggle. It's different.
yeah. Well, I also another thing is also like in junior and senior year I rimmed with Tiger
Oh.
and
yeah. Yeah.
so
That was fun.
yeah but like
No.
right but like I actually like during high school I picked up a little bit of the stutter just like from like
Oh,
being around
really?
Tiger, yeah, like a lot. And like by the time I was in like by the end of like freshman year and college, it was like gone. But it was like mostly like I think a lot because I lived with you and like interacted with you like every day.
It's
That like
contagious. It's
it's not like
contagious now.
contagious, but it's
It's
like
contagious. I'm just kidding.
Contagious.
I'm
like
just kidding.
you like pick up like some of the not habits I would say, but like this is like the case for like a lot of different things, but when you interact with people like a lot, like you're gonna start to pick up some of their mannerisms, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
just like a natural thing that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like that, like I picked
I
up a little bit of
agree.
it when
I
I
agree.
lived with Tiger a lot, and so
I
like
guess that makes sense because like when I think
Hmm.
of like picking up mannerisms and words, like I think of like picking up like more
Speech
like yeah,
patterns.
speech like well, not speech patterns, but like just like words
right,
like like words that like only your friend uses and like becomes normalized because your friend uses them.
Right.
I'd never thought that like you would pick up stuttering.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not only that, but it's also like there's been studies about this and stuff. But like, if you're like okay, one of the big examples, like Skylar will know what I'm talking about. Like on Trash Taste, like there's like a meme that like Joey and Garn have like do the same things, and they're like,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
basically like the thing is because they hang out so much, like they'll like go for the same time, like they'll like go up in their chair like at the same time, like they'll like and there's like memes of them doing it like exactly at the same time like
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
or like the way that they'll laugh or like whatever like but like it's like those things that you pick up and it's like all
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the words that you use but like over Discord
Yeah.
the words that we use are like going to be the most common way because that's how we interact with each
Yeah.
other, like we only hear each other, so like it's not going to be as much of the physical stuff, but
Mm-hmm. Oh,
um
that's interesting.
yeah.
So it's Michael's fault that I say Lamau so much, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, it
Lamau.
probably is actually like no joke.
I say TFT like emotes now.
Yeah, yeah.
I never
Yeah.
now I literally like like I'll like be texting Trey at night and I'll be like, okay, like I'm gonna go to bed. Like I'm gonna like
Yeah.
Go to
like
bed.
that has
Oh
become that
no.
has like really become like a part of my vocabulary now. Like bed.
Yeah. Like
No.
well, okay, so like I mean this is the same thing for like streamers. So, like if you watch like streamers a lot, like I'll pick up a lot on streamers I watch a lot. So like a lot okay, I'll say that a lot of the seeding vocabulary does come in part from like the TFT streamers like Sergio and stuff. Like the like when I use like the word infinite like a lot. That was something that I
That's
picked up from
innate.
that's an well okay yeah like some of them it's like more conscious and obvious but like the less obvious ones like infinite for example is a word that I use now to describe a lot of situations and that's like because of the like Soju's influence and like TFT like the streaming
Mhm.
stuff and like it's like all kind of related. This is I mean it's called like parasocial relationships but like it does affect
Mhm.
your like mannerisms and vocab and that kind of stuff a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I think
Yeah.
okay, so I think I actually picked up that you started a little bit, but I was like not 100% sure. But I think it's easier for me to pick it up because
Well,
I also started. So
and a lot of times like online like when I would play video games alone, like when I didn't have like online friends to play with, like I'm playing with random people or I'm playing alone and I'm in comms, like whatever, like I play over like example like playing Overwatch alone or playing
Mhm.
comp, like I have to talk in it. Like if I stutter in it and someone will like a lot of times someone will either be like, "Oh, like are you stuttering?" or like, "Is your mic working?" Like I
oh
would just
really?
be like, well, so I would blame my I would hide my stutter and be like, "Oh, like sorry, like I have a bad mic," or like, "Oh, like I'm sorry, like I'm lagging." Like I
Yeah.
would use like external factors to like
Dang.
cover up myself.
I played a month of Valorant, which, as you know, there's like open comms if you
Yeah.
want in Valorant. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody ever said anything like that to me even
Yeah.
once. But I
Mm-hmm.
also played way less than you. I think I played
Yeah.
like 10
I,
hours a day for a month, and then I had to quit because I was like, this is too much.
I think as a girl, people will also pay more attention to you,
Yeah.
not in necessarily a
Yeah,
good way.
yeah,
Like
that's
if
probably
you
true. Yeah,
if you're calming and a girl talks, like people are gonna listen more and probably listen to more make fun of you than
yeah.
the good ways.
It's just a lot less common, so and
Yeah.
like it's just you're gonna stand out, and standing
And
out
that's
is
what and it's a lot less common. Like one thing I've known is that like a lot of girls play Valorant, like much more than you think. Like the player base of Valorant, much more girls play it than you would realize. But you wouldn't know it because they don't talk.
yeah,
Like that's
Mm.
and because and so because you have this skewed idea of like more guys play Val and like there are less girls, when the few girls that do talk, it's rare even though it's not like it's rare like if you get what I'm saying, like
yeah. That's like the illusion of rarity.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do we
Yeah.
want to transition that into talking more about the video games?
Yeah, tell us about being a pro player.
I was okay. I was not a pro player. I played with a lot of pros. Like so I played Vainglory. Vainglory is a MOBA. It came out in 2014. I played at the launch. And I played almost until it died. Like I was playing on its downfall pretty much. I played from
Wait, is it dead now?
So about Vainglory, the developers basically scrapped it. Like they sold it to like
Really?
some obsolete thing.
Oh, really?
It's unplayable right now. It's on the App Store, but it's unplayable. It's actually really
Interesting.
sad because it in my mind it paved the way for MOBA esports like Wild Rift and Mobile Legends, like those games. Like
Or like on the phone, you're saying?
yes, mobile
Yeah.
MOBAs. Yeah, mobile MOBAs. Like obviously League has always been prominent and like if not the one of the most, if not the most iconic esports. Like I would watch League esports without even playing League just because like
That's what I do
it was
now.
there and it's so big. It's so big.
Yeah.
And even if you don't play video games, like everyone knows what like even if you don't play League, you know what League is. That's how iconic it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I played at the launch and I basically watched as a game brought in organizations, as organizations hired players, as players scrimmed. I was an analyst, I was a writer.
Analyst? That's cool.
I was an analyst, yeah, so I would watch VODs, I would sit in scrims and analyze through the scrims. Like
Wait.
I would
So
sit Oh yeah.
you're telling me you're the LS of Vainglory?
I might just be. I might just be. So,
Damn.
um,
Holy shit. Are you toxic like LS?
no, what the heck? No,
Okay.
no,
That's his brand.
no,
Okay, continue.
but I just watched. It's really exciting and really interesting to watch that all happen. And like, I was really young, I will say. Like, I lied about my age a few times to get opportunities.
Ooh. Did you
Especially,
get
Yes,
them?
I did get them.
Oh.
So
And they didn't verify. They're like,
I was
send
like,
us your driver license.
I don't know if I should say this, but I was like 14 years old writing for
Probably wait, I think we should bleep that
yeah,
one.
you should cut that maybe.
We
Yeah. Okay, so
I'll
start
put the
anew.
timestamp in
I'll
chat.
start anew. And so yeah, so I lied about my age to get a few opportunities, which I got. And so and so I lied about my age to get a few opportunities, and I did get them, so that was cool. I never got caught though, so
That's
Nice.
good.
yeah.
That's good.
And I guess like what I learned the most while kind of being undercover, I would say, like undercover in mobile esports, or just, and I think this not only applies to mobile esports, but esports in general, is that we take so much credit away from women in esports or just women in video games. Like I saw it when I was 14, 15 years old playing, and I see it on stream on like with Twitch streamers like in real life now, like just people discrediting females because
Yeah.
they play with their boyfriends or because they're affiliated with an organization. So like people just assume like this girl can't be good. Like she's just um she's just being carried. Like that that trope where it's like I don't know if you've seen the memes like or in League. I'm just gonna do a Val meme, but like League would probably be more applicable. Just like uh, a DPS boyfriend carrying, and then the girl's like playing support for him,
Right.
like that meme,
Yeah.
and he's just carrying her like through. Like I think like we discredit like of course that happens sometimes. Like yes, okay, sure. Like I'm not gonna say that like boosting doesn't happen with a partner, but have you thought like maybe boosting could go the other way around? Like what if the girlfriend's the main DPS and the guy's the support?
That'd be
Or
hot. I'd be okay with that.
Hey, so what happened was wait.
Or
Michael, you used to play support for Kevin, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why are you playing support for another man, huh?
Support. Well, okay, because
But it's
see,
like-
the actual like the okay here I'll just say that this is like more so a thing with League, but support actually dictates like in League, support dictates how you play the lane much more than the ADC. So like
Mhm.
when you
Yeah.
play like when you play as a support AD duo, the support actually has much more control in the early game. So like a better like AD is basically like the like AD is only mechanics, and like you basically get babied the entire game to like carry at the very end of the game. But like
Yeah.
for the vast majority of the game, you're fucking useless, and you're like, so like the support is actually there, like it's like the term like of support makes it sound like they're weaker, but like in
Mhm.
fact most of the time supports are like the stronger
Mhm.
like champ in the early game or like and they dictate much more of the early and mid game and that's just like how like League has always been played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the idea of like it being like oh like the support is being carried is kind of I think it stems in part because like in League there is a archetype where you're just supposed to literally like AFK in the lane and then like AFK for the entire game if you're the support. But like those champs are like if you play them well, they don't even have to be played that way. Like you can play aggro in the lane. But anyway, like that's like
Mhm.
kind of just a tangent.
It's yeah. No, I understand what you mean. Like just like people, and that's just people like not being like really just not understanding like
Right.
game mechanics. Like
Well,
if
it's
you're
more so I feel like it's they have a narrative they want to push, and
mhm,
so they fit the whatever is convenient to their narrative, like in that like in whatever way they can, if that
mhm.
makes sense.
Like, and so, like, if I'm playing video games, I barely like I talk. Maybe there's like a 5% chance I'll talk in game,
Right.
but most of the time I mute. In the in the rare times that I do, it's always with my friends. Like, it's not going to just be me talking to strangers. Like, I'm always with other people.
Right.
So if I'm talking, I'm probably like there's an argument going on, and so I add in like to help my friend. And so as soon as I join the conversation, it like becomes obsolete, like whatever is being said, like whatever argument is being said or whatever problem there is becomes obsolete, and it becomes that I am now talking like as a female backing up a guy. So they're like, "Oh, like the girlfriend's just like defending her boyfriend." When it's when it's just my friends, like it's just my friends and I playing, like it
Yeah.
just becomes like it becomes so it makes no sense like why that even matters in the first place,
Right.
and it's just really frustrating.
Yeah.
That's why no one ever talks. That's why no one talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks because like this like field or like this like hobby is very much dominated by like men and like
Yeah.
boys. That there's
Mhm.
just kind of like a frat boy culture that develops around it.
And
And
then
it's like reinforced.
I could also
Yeah.
say about esports. So in Valorant, I'm not sure about other games, but in Valorant, there's the Pro League
Uh-huh.
consisting of all men, but then there's another Pro League that consists of all women. And so I actually had mixed feelings about this, like whether I liked that they had separate leagues like to what they would say like even out the playing field,
Mhm.
or if I disliked it like because that's insinuating that women don't have the same skill level as guys to be in the main
So
league.
okay, so I
So yeah, I
heard
would like to hear opinions on separate gender leagues.
I
um
think
here
yeah,
go
sorry,
Tiger, go
you go
Tiger.
first.
Okay.
Okay. My opinion is I think it's totally fine if they have a women league, but I like to see women being allowed to play in the men's league, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah, I totally get if people want to be like, I want to make a separate league where only women plays. But I think it
Yeah.
would be cool if women are also allowed to join the men's league, quote unquote. But you wouldn't call it the men's league. It would just be like the league,
Yeah.
right?
right, so
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly. It's just called the league when it's guys, but it's called the women's league when it's the girls.
Right. Okay,
Like
so like I
Right,
have
right.
So like this is like a question that has been like continually like asked in like men dominated like I guess like games or like whatever. Like why is it that like okay like a common example is like why is it that men are like so much better at chess versus women? Like is it because men are just smarter? Well, okay, I'm gonna say that it's not, but like I'm just it's not, right? But like like one of the reasons is because like when this is like an article I was reading about, but like one of the reasons is that like when it's like let's say the field like overall playing field for like chess is like 70-30 or like 80-20. Like the odds that a woman is going to reach the same peak as a man is like 4-1 essentially. Because like just by pure statistical odds, like without even considering external factors. And one of the other things is that when you consider the external factors of the fact that it's a men-dominated sport, so women are more discouraged to continue doing things. Like that's why it adds up. And so like even if there was like a woman who had the skill level to become one of the best players in the world, and granted, like I'll say that there's only been like to be a world champion in chess, there's only been like 10 people like over the course of um like the last 50 years that or like 100 years
Yeah.
that have that even have the possibility to become the best player in the world, right? Like it's very very rare like to have the skill level, and but it like was never nurtured at a young age because you're just discouraged because it's a societal thing that like this is not there is no like infrastructure like oh if you play chess at a young age as a girl like you're just never going to be as encouraged as if you were like the same skill level of a guy or like same for many video games. And so like if you consider those external factors, it's just like very unlikely that you're going to have the same skill level like or a top level player emerge like as a woman. And there have been examples of top 10 like there has been one woman in the history of like the last 200 years in chess where a woman has reached the top 10 in the world um in chess. And so like I think as like the ideas of like gender equality quote unquote have started to evolve in the last like 20 years, and I think like it's still continuing the conversation of that like in the future we won't see the actual effects of like that kind of stuff until like 20 30 40 50 years down the line. And like the thing is it's even harder for like video games where it's already like a pre-established very male-centric kind of like community or like um, overall like internet like overall internet community to like overhaul their entire identity. So like even if we were to believe that like there is gender equality, which right now there isn't, but like let's say that we were to push for it, we would only see the effects of it 5 to 10 years down the line from when it originally starts. And right now it hasn't even like reached that point, right? So like on that level, like it's hard for like there to be like a pro like a woman pro to be on the same level as like men pro, especially because like they're not
Wait.
encouraged.
Scarlet from StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm saying that there can exist. It can exist, right? But I'm saying like
It's harder. It's harder.
it's just harder. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, statistically speaking, for it to happen is much rarer. And then the external factors on top of that mean that it's even harder. And I think like in StarCraft 2, I don't know the history that much of StarCraft 2, so like I can't compare. But like one of the other things to note is that in team games like Valorant or League, it's even harder because like if you're the one female player on a 5-person team, not to even mention one female player in like the league or like a small number of female players in the league, like there's so much more pressure on you to perform, and like that's not going to like be like conducive to conducive to success in general, versus in individual esport like let's say like StarCraft or like let's say like Smash or like some fighting game or whatever. It's marginally more likely for someone to like in Smash to enter like the top 50 or top 100 or something There have been female players that are like top 100 or top 200 or something, but that's like kind of illustrating my point of like there is first off the statistical gap plus the external factors to like if the external factors were to go away, then maybe the statistical gap would be like in the top 50 there would be 5 female players, but like with the statistical gap plus the external factors there's like one in the top 100 or 200.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like it's hard for like women to become like pros because of all of those things, right? Like it's the community stuff that it starts from like like not young age, but like from the start of like whenever they start playing the game, essentially.
Who said something about? So I'm just trying to keep the conversation going, but who said something about that you think that there should be a women league, but that the women should be allowed to join the men's league? Who said that?
Tiger.
Me. Yeah. I
Okay,
said that.
so I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Okay, so
Yeah.
what about why can't men join the women's league?
So I think it's totally fine that
Mm,
if a bunch of people get together, be like, let's make a league where only women gets to play.
mhm.
I think if a bunch of guys were like, let's make a league that only guys want to play, that's also fine. But then I don't think that's a thing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
And I will say Valorant, there's no specific men's league, like they would not be allowed to say like the Valorant pro scene is designated only
Exactly.
for men. But the fact of the matter is the organizations are only purchasing and signing men. That's the gap.
Yeah, I'd
Right.
like to see a case where like there's like a very promising female player that's like I want to join, and then like teams pass and pick
Mhm.
like a worse player, and then you have to remember like teams are still trying to like win stuff, and they're gonna pick players based on what they think are gonna gel well with their current players. And
I
if they
Right.
believe they put a woman on the team, they're like, well, the other players will play worse, which is not the women's fault at all. It's just like how
Right.
like it
That's
is
that's
in
what I was
this
also
game, right?
talking about. Like in a team game, it's so hard because it's
Yeah.
not just affecting the individual. Well, I mean, it's also like it's not just the individual piece. It's also like how it fits into the entire team dynamic, which is why it's like so much harder in team games as well.
I do think at the core of this is just the way men and women communicate. Like, I don't know about the other two, but when you're with just a group, like when you're a guy and you're with just a group of your guy friends, I feel like you act a little differently than if you're with your mixed gender friends.
I feel
Or
like
with
it.
your-
I mean, it could matter, but
Not for me, by the
I
way.
like not for me, but
Not for
also like
me.
I would say that that's not like the core reason why that's an issue. Is more so that like imagine if like like a Valorant team decided to take a chance and there was a promising female talent and they decided to bring them in and like try to bring them onto their main roster, right? Like the amount of pressure that would be on the individual and also the team to perform because like there's like so much drama that could surround that kind of thing because like
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be watching that situation with like and they're gonna point out like even if she's playing as well as like or better than some of the other people in the league, if she makes like one mistake, then it's just like fucked, right? Like everyone's gonna say like, oh, like this is a terrible idea, like whatever, et cetera, et cetera.
So this is exactly why we don't have women in like the league. Like, yeah, it becomes yeah.
Right.
I
So
don't
like
think it will happen though, because
yeah, I think it should.
like you're saying,
I
as
think
like
it
women
has
become
happened
more
before. I feel like I've read something about this happen before.
So like there needs to be like basically what needs to happen for women to be able to join the league is first off there need to be a group like some number of players like female players that are good enough to be playing in like the top league whatever it is like that's like of course the given and then once you have that there needs to be some level of adoption that like one of the organizations need to be willing to take the risk and then this risk needs to be successful that that person needs to individually perform very well and to like give the opportunity for other people to like open the door for other people and then it can become like like adopted thing so like there could be some level of female players but like that goes back to my original point of like the fact that within a group of like if I don't know what the Valorant like player base is like if we assume like 70-30 like statistically speaking that means that at a top level, if there's 50 players, that there's going to be like 15 female players. But if we consider external factors, let's say that out of the top 50 players, there could only be like 2. And then like if those 2 players were actually able to like perform at the highest level, then we would be in that conversation. So like in the conversation of like being able to have like female players play in the league, which is it's just like there's a lot of conditionals that will need to be met, and like I'm hoping it will happen at some point because like it's just will be better for the health of the league and better for the health of like esports in general to like be able to have female pro players and stuff. But like right now we're still like a few steps away, I think.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely happen, especially because like games are more popular now and there are more girls playing, and eventually there's going to be talent that are enough talent to have not just like one player on one team, but just be like
Yeah, exactly.
or just be more, and then like once you have female players in the league, it becomes way easier to have
Right.
more.
Once there's a president, I think it becomes infinitely easier.
What would you say about, so like in today's society, like gender identity and gender expression is such a personal and heated topic, like so, such a personal and hot topic right now.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you say about trans men or women, and where do they fit inside of between
Gamers?
men's and women's, well, between
Let's
between pro play, and honestly, and I'm gonna say that I would be willing to bet that there already exist trans men, like biologically female transitioning to male, already like transitioned like past tense transitioned to male already within pro esports leagues, and they don't choose to come public or disclose this information because
wait, there was a
they're afraid
huge
of.
controversy about this, like in
So,
League a few years ago.
yeah, so like what would you
What
say
was it?
about,
I forgot the player's name, but um, I
or
don't
maybe
know.
non-binary, I don't know, just gender
I think
non-conforming, non-binary.
I think this was like early age LCS, and she played on Curse, like the support. And then like later on, it was like, and then like at one point she quit, and then she like tried to undergo like operations and stuff, and then like there was like a lot of issues going with like um basically the situation surrounding that and what that meant to like the organization that um that they played on. I don't know what the name. Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't
Do you
remember.
have a vague okay. I should
But
just find
I
it.
will say that like the same to me, like basically the same reasons for why I would want women to be able to become pro players in esports or like have that be an okay thing, I guess, like just like have it be, meritocracy essentially. Um, the same reasons apply to like um non-binary, like trans, like whatever, LGBTQ plus basically people, because like I feel like the very first thing that should be like it should only matter like how well you perform in the team. It shouldn't like your gender shouldn't be like a factor essentially. So like I I know like
I
people will be
I
like opposed to it, but like they say it shouldn't matter to me.
I think that what does need to come first is women being introduced more casually and more like that, more casually and more is more widespread and integrated between teams,
Hmm.
and then we can start talking about identity more, but we're not even close to like
Yeah.
integration with
I
women.
will say that I have had this conversation with Trey about like LGBTQ or like trans people
Yeah.
participating in traditional sports. I do think the conversation for that should be like a little different because there is the idea of like competitive integrity, but like for games, it's like different because like as far as I understand at least, there is no physical like the physical difference between men and women shouldn't affect how well you perform in video games. Like
Mm-hmm.
And so there is no like issue of competitive integrity in that sense. Like I think
Yet there like the comparisons, like you can look up an article like why men are better at esports than women, and like you'll find a lot of like
right, but it's fake science essentially.
I was gonna say half true articles.
Yeah, you can always find stats that support your argument.
Yeah.
It's really easy to fudge stats, but like as far as I understand, there shouldn't be well. And anyway, that would more so be an issue for like um trans men to women participating in women's sports anyway, because that's like the more of the
Mm-hmm.
bigger conversation in traditional sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
What
that's
would the argument be against just one league for esports then?
no. I think one league should
That's
be
definitely the goal. That's
yeah,
definitely the
yeah.
end goal.
But like
But right
the
now
Yeah.
reason,
there are separate gendered
right?
leagues.
So I like okay, for example, league does not do a separate league for women, but like the reason why there would be a separate league for women is to have visibility for women or like female players.
Mhm.
Since right now they aren't getting the visibility, so at least a step. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I found the player, but I actually got this thing a bit wrong.
Okay.
So she was trans. So by the time she was playing, she was already trans. She's already a trans woman, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if you remember. Her name was Amelia. She was on
Oh
like
yeah. Actually, I
she
do
was
remember
like
a little bit.
Renegades and FlyQuest.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know. Apparently, she died in 2019.
What the
I,
sad.
I
Well,
don't
that took
don't
a
know
dark
what.
turn real
I
Yeah,
fast.
that
know,
got really sad.
but yeah, she played support back then. She was like a really
Yeah, I
good
do
Thresh
remember.
player. I don't know if you
Yeah, I do remember
remember.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. If we want to move on, because we've talked a lot about this.
Oh, okay. I am curious, since you said you were like kind of like semi-pro, I guess, in Vainglory, like, do you have an estimate for like about how good you were at the time, like in terms of like
Yeah,
in the
like
world?
how many top players?
Like
Oh,
like
I mean,
top
like,
100, top 50, top 10, top 1000.
no, I don't have a number, but like, I had multiple accounts that were the maximum elo.
Oh, okay.
Like, I maxed
How
out
many
the
players
rank.
were in the max elo? Do you know?
Like, well, it's because so I was just talking about this with one of my friends from Vainglory because I was like, after you like invited me on and I was like thinking about topics, I like started talking to him again and we were like reminiscing and we said that it was really difficult, um, like because it was such a small game and there were only
Mhm.
so many gifted people, like there are I'm gonna say like 8 or 9 orgs, okay?
Right.
The teams themselves, so in Vainglory it was 3v3, so the teams are
Right.
pretty small. You maybe have a sub jungle, a sub, so the lanes flip. So the map itself was only a lane, a jungle, and the support went with the jungle. So it was a 3v3.
Right.
Most teams only had 4 or 5 people in them.
Mhm.
Um, and so the issue is that um and so again, so skill, so there's only a few really really good people. They just end up getting kind of mixed around, like you don't really like no no one coming in is just gonna have the raw skill or talent that these like elite, I'm gonna say these 20 elite players have.
Okay.
So these 20
Mhm.
elite players are constantly getting moved between just orgs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not really any space for new talent because it's a small game, small orgs. The pay, I can tell you the pay that people were getting on average. They were getting about like, and also this is minuscule. Like this is literally a mobile game, so I
Right.
don't
Right.
want you to think that this is robbery because all of these people are students or college students.
Right. Right.
Like these are young people. There's no like adults playing this. It's a
Uh-huh.
phone game. Okay, it's a phone game.
Yeah.
This
The
is
pay
2014. This is 2014,
2014.
2015.
I
Okay.
think that so my friend who was he was a sub jungle. he was getting paid, I think, around $3,000 a month as
That's
a
actually
sub.
not bad.
That's better than I thought.
That's
In-
better than I
don't
would
even
think.
league play. I don't even think LCS was being paid very much. Back in
And
2014.
Oh no,
then
LCS
I
now is
think
getting
the
paid
main
infinite, but like
Oh yeah, but 2014
by
LCS,
2014,
like
yeah, it was
season,
they were not getting
like
paid very well.
the second season of LCS.
Yeah.
This is like, this is before franchising. Like, I don't think they were being paid much.
Yeah.
and then if you're on the main roster, like you're basically like going in every game, they're getting around $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
I mean, that's
Which
actually
is
like
really
not bad.
huge. Which is really huge
Didn't
when you're a high
Skara-
school student, which is most of them. Like most of the people were high
Yeah,
school
that's a lot.
students.
That, I mean, that's enough to
$5,000
be
a
a
month.
full-time job
Skara?
if you're like depending on where you live, but like it's enough to
And
be a full-time, like a low-end full-time job.
I was gonna
That's a-
say, so the people who went pro, who had successful careers in Vainglory, and who graduated to Wild Rift, because as Vainglory was
Yeah.
becoming obsolete, Wild Rift came
Okay.
like over the horizon. Already at the
Mhm.
time of Vainglory, because the pro scene was strong for about 3 or 4 years. Multiple people did drop out of high school. So,
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know about college, but most of the people that I know they were in high school, so they did stop their high school. I don't know if they were being homeschooled. I hope that they were being homeschooled and they
Probably
did eventually
not.
get a GED. I'm hoping that they got their GED and they didn't just play phone games all of high school. I probably asked them what happened to them, but so yeah, they moved to Wild Rift and they just continued. They're just still playing mobile esports.
Yeah, so for context, what Tiger was asking him about, so like when because Skara and Cutie Pie, I'm a Cutie Pie, were like Dignitas, and in the very early days of League, what they would do, like what they were not getting paid enough. They were barely enough to like probably less than that. This was
I think they
this
got
was
paid less
before
than you
though.
guys,
Yeah, this was before this, but like
Mhm.
they like Scar and Cutie literally said what they would do is on the last day before rent was due, they had to stream, or like they would have to stream for like the last week because they couldn't
Oh
make
my
enough
God.
money
Oh,
from their organization to pay off the rent. So they
that's
needed to
really
But
insane.
they
stream.
were one of the best. They were the third best team in NA, and they
Yeah.
went to
They
play
went to
international
Worlds and
tournaments and
they
stuff.
were they were a really good team, like a world class level team, like maybe like top
they're like
15,
famous.
top 10 or 15 in the world at the time. Um, and they were barely scraping by, like literally barely scraping by.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
they were, from what it sounded like they were only making enough money to live, like literally not even making enough money to live, and they had to like
Mhm.
supplement some of their other expenses from like streaming, for example, was a big one, and then like
Yeah.
Scar like has told stories of like how he literally had to like they had a team house and he was the one who had to like foot the bill, and like his name was on the bill and he literally got charged for the bill after he left, like after he left Dignitas. So like like there's been a lot of money that's gone into League since then, and if you make it to the LCS now, you're like literally fucking like you're making like a lot of money, but like
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think quality of life, like the quality of life for players has improved a lot, which is really good. Like
Yeah, I
they're
think that's great.
getting, like I think Michael was saying something like a lot of pro players are required to like have physical activity,
yes,
and
League
this
and
is
LCS.
true. And like they should be like if they're screaming for 8 or 9 hours a day staring at a screen, like I hope to God that someone's making them go to the gym and just
Well, yeah, because
and not to
Wait,
waste
wait, wait.
away. Like just
Software
do
engineers?
exercise. Like
well, okay,
Software
but like
engineers?
because in the LCS, like if you think about it, like from the pro organization standpoint, it's in their best interest to make sure that the players are eating health. Like they have pro chefs and stuff, and like they have required workout regimens and stuff. But like it's in their best interest because like the longer they can keep those like developed talents with their roster, because like if you literally like spend like if you don't do those extra things outside of playing like the game, like your career is not going to last very long. It's only going to be like 2 to 3 years, and then you're literally like not going to be physically not going to be able to play. Like you're going to have like carpal tunnel and like fucking like back pain and fucking like
yeah,
and like
neck
all that
and back
stuff.
issues.
Right.
Yeah,
So
like
like
it's good that they're taking care of them now.
oh okay,
That's good,
and then
yeah.
I did want to ask this, like, is there a reason that you did never decided to move on to like Wild Rift or like the other mobile games after like Vainglory died and like now since like now you're playing Valorant as your main game?
Oh, I just had like different priorities. Vainglory was
Wait,
dying. I didn't play like I played competitively for the middle 1 or 2 years
Uh-huh.
where I like was really really good was playing with a lot of pros, like matching up with them in lobbies. Towards the last year, uh just like different priorities. Just I didn't really want I so I did want to be like I would be lying if I said like becoming a pro like wouldn't sound really fun to me. Like
Mhm.
didn't sound really fun to me.
Right.
It did. I think that's like every kid's dream to be paid to play video games.
Yeah.
But just like
hmm,
logistically, I had different career goals. Like I
Right.
wanted to be a therapist. Like I knew like and also like I also didn't know like how like it just didn't seem stable in my mind. Like
Yeah.
I just
I
couldn't
mean, it's
hear
not.
myself and believe myself saying like I can make a living off of playing a phone game. Like that
It's
didn't
not
sound real. Didn't
even for
sound real.
like even for like League right now, it's not really stable because if you think about it this way, at maximum, like we don't really know technically, but like on average, like the average LCS player is only going to be playing like 5 years of their career.
Mhm.
And then
hmm,
after that, like it's like really hard for you to like find a job because you just spent your like 20 to
Yeah.
like 25 years where a lot of people have been going through a lot of career development
Mhm.
um
yeah. The play
on,
now
on
is
playing.
to play some pro and then like
Become a
stream.
coach.
Yeah,
Oh, I've
stream,
also seen them
Stream,
coaching,
coach.
streaming makes a lot of money streaming.
yeah, streaming, coaching,
If you're a really good player, then you become a coach
analyst or
eventually.
whatever, like
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. Like you can make money, but like it's hard because there's not enough jobs there to like actually like not everyone in the league is going to be able to find something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
what people don't realize is that esports is it's not like like it's not apples to apples with real sports and esports, but just like with real sports, like you have like a life, like an expiration date in sports. Like NBA
Yeah, exactly.
players are in the like they're not there for their entire lives, like just like how esports players aren't going to be there for their entire lives. They play in their primes. Their primes.
Right.
It's
Well,
the
I
same. It's
actually
the same
think
thing.
the thing is, I think if you enter streaming now, I think you'll actually be fine because like streaming plus esports is like a really fast growing industry. And I think by the 5, 10 year or 5 years after you're like done with your pro career, like new opportunities will be opened by then.
Yeah,
And
the thing
right
is, it's
Not
now,
still
like
hard
now.
though. It's still hard.
It's
Not
because
everyone,
it's growing fast.
because the thing is, streaming is hard because it's not well, same skill sets that make you a successful pro player do not make you a successful streamer. So like
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
not everyone
That's
has
true.
this personality to be able to go into streaming. And while it is
Mhm.
a potential career path for people who become pro, it's still not like um it's not for everyone and like not everyone who tries will be able to do it. So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I think I saw a statistic on Twitch. I'm not sure. I might be off, but like the top like 1% of Twitch streamers, like in terms of viewership, like just gauging how how dominating the top streamers are on this website. To be on the top 1% of streamers on Twitch, you have to have like over 20 viewers or something.
yeah, it's like 10
Yeah,
or
but the
20
thing
or
is, if you're a
something.
pro player, you kind of skip that step where
Yeah, it is.
you start with like 10 viewers, you know. Pro player, you can straight. I mean, it depends on the game, but
Yeah.
if you're a pro Valorant player, a pro League player, pro Apex player, etc., like you instantly, you know, you skip
No,
that
that's
initial
not
step of
Apex,
having no
but like
viewers.
the other games, yeah, like in large part, yes. But like it's still hard because if you going from like 20 viewers or like 50 viewers to like 100, like you can only probably make a living on Twitch like with a consistent like 150 viewer stream, like 100 to 150 viewer stream when you're streaming like 8 hours a day or like super hard grinding.
Mm.
Um, and to like be able to even grow it to that point with um like even with like a competitive background, like it's gonna be hard because like one of the things that a lot of the successful streamers that were previous League pros did was that they started building their brand like while they were competitive players. So you have to like plan for that before you even quit, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely. You have
like
to be streaming while you're a good player,
right.
and you're known as like best jungler in Europe or something. You know.
Well, a lot of how should I say this? Aspiring pros, they turn to
Mhm.
streaming to gain a following, to be noticed. So Twitch is also like it's kind of a scouting platform, and also say like say the number one Valorant player is playing or streaming. I don't even know the top Valorant player. Maybe Tarek, but he's a content creator. He's not even a pro player.
I
Let's say
think
he's
he
streaming.
retired, right? Thought.
He
Yeah.
he's an
Ex-pro.
CS:GO player.
Yeah.
But say he's streaming, he gets queued up against this like rando, and he gets absolutely like
Shit on.
he gets absolutely shit on. Yeah, he gets absolutely shit on by this random kid. This kid is now like his name is now like out there through
Yeah,
Twitch.
absolutely.
So it's kind of like advertising almost like Twitch becomes a way for besides word of mouth obviously between players, but like Twitch like I think is a very real scouting thing, like to find players, like going through streaming, watching streams, I don't know, getting a
Mhm.
feel of not only play style, but like you can see their personality through streaming too and how they would fit in with the team, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Scar and Toast talked about this once, where they're saying like to become a streamer, there's like two things. It's like either like one of the ways is just to be really really good at a popular game, and then you'll get views just because you're really 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 good.
Yeah. Oh, and what's the other?
Oh, the
Or
other
is that
one is
it?
like
Or is that
standard.
is that
No, no,
it? Is that
no,
it?
the other one is not. The other one is not has nothing to do with like being a pro gamer.
Okay.
But they were saying one of the main ways is to be really really good at a game, and then people are gonna watch just because you're really really good.
Yeah.
Be good,
Oh.
dude. That's easy.
I mean,
Just be
that's
good.
if you think about it, like almost.
Be better.
I mean, we had this conversation a few like a year ago or whatever, but like if you think about it, like a lot of the Twitch top popular streamers are like former pros of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Like XQC is
Right, XQC.
he's the top
XQC.
streamer on Twitch.
I mean,
This
Tyler
had
one is not
Overwatch.
a pro,
In
but
Overwatch.
you know,
Right.
good player. He's like
But he's one of the largest.
challenger every fucking year.
You
Right.
could say like so you
On
could
different roles.
and you can
Yeah.
look at these top streamers and say that the caveat are all of the top female streamers.
Yeah,
Because
so
none of them are pro.
exactly.
None of them
Well,
are pro.
Yeah, but
I mean, like for
there's just not that many
example,
pro female players. in
well,
the first place.
for example, like Pokimane, she got popular in part because she was like Diamond 2 or whatever in League, like in the relatively early days of League, and that was like
I did
one
not
of the
know that.
yeah, that was one of the big
Yeah.
reasons that she got
Diamond.
really popular because like I mean she was
She al-
entertaining
but
or whatever,
I think
but
she
like
really popped off during Fortnite though. Like her
Oh
Fortnite
my god.
really
I
Well,
hated the
popped off.
Fortnite. I hated the Fortnite
well, but
Twitch
she had it
arc.
like
That was
she
so
had
bad.
like an original like she grew like a big following first from League, and
She
then
was like, she was
Right.
like in the thousands, and then when
Fortnite?
Fortnite popped off, she like tenfold folded.
Right,
She
right.
went to like the 20K instead of like 5K. Yeah, she like really popped off. Yeah, and then there's like a new brand of like like Twitch streamers that don't game, just like personalities.
yeah,
Just
like Hassan.
Just chatting section, right?
yeah, just chatting. Or art, the art streamers,
I think art
like the artists or
nobody
music
watches art
streamers.
streamers. It's usually like React streamers and like
Wait, what?
IRL streamers.
Lily Peachu's art streamer? No. Or
No,
she's
not
music.
really.
Where she is? She's
Not
like variety.
really.
Well, I mean,
She's
Lily
variety,
Pichu,
but she's known for games and like
she got
chatting.
popular originally
thought she was
because of
known for
League as well,
music.
right?
Yeah.
What?
Like she does art and music because she likes it, but that's not why she's
Oh,
known.
okay.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
I didn't know that. Well,
Yeah.
because she won the
Yeah.
best music on like the Streamies or something, so I thought that she did music.
On the cutie streaming thing. Yeah, she does technically, but That's not
Oh.
why she's known. That's just what she
Well,
does.
that's
now.
like
She
a-
has
it's
the
like the kind
following.
of-
She has the fan base so that she can do like whatever she wants,
To
basically.
do
at this point.
anything. Yeah, she can
Right.
do
Yeah, she
anything.
can do anything, and thousands of people are gonna want to watch.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Bro,
think about like
is that the life? Is that the life?
like if you
That
look
is
at
the life.
OTV,
Breathing and
right?
everyone will watch.
Just be professionally famous.
Like
Yeah.
if you look at OTV, like they grew their initial following a lot off of gaming first, and then
Mhm.
like there was
Yeah.
some other factor that allowed them to
Yeah.
like go past like their like because there's like basically different stratospheres in streaming, right? Like there's like the 50,000 or like 20,000 plus, let's say, like the top
Mhm.
streamers, and then there's like the
Yeah.
10,000 plus, and there's like the 1,000 plus, and then there's like the 500 plus or whatever. Like basically like um some like a lot of them like maybe grew their initial like 100 to like 500 to maybe like 1,000 off of like gaming first, and then
Mhm.
they got to like the
Yeah,
next
absolutely.
level off of something else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Toast, for example, he was originally popular for Hearthstone, but Hearthstone is like
He was
not.
no. He got famous because he missed his tournament game. That's like hilarious. That's like how he got like famous.
Yeah, and he grew his initial following through Hearthstone, but like now he doesn't fucking touch Hearthstone anymore. And like one of the
Yeah.
big things that he like really popped off on was TFT, because he was like
TFT, yeah.
the early adopter of TFT, and that was when TFT was like really big, and that's like where he
He
grew.
did. Yeah.
And
Right.
I think Among Us and like OTV and stuff like
Yeah,
were
Among
huge,
yeah, I was gonna
huge.
say Among Us
Right.
like really popped off on Among Us.
Yeah. Cool. So maybe you can become a streamer. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta break through. You gotta. Actually, there are a lot of female
Wait,
game
and then
streamers.
there's like
breakthrough.
There's actually quite a
wait,
few.
you said you want to be a therapist, right?
Yes.
Gaming
Okay.
therapists.
Because
Well,
I was
no,
gonna say like
so-
Dr. K is like known for just having like a mental health show on Twitch.
I was gonna say like I definitely have been sending emails to a lot of esports orgs, like asking about where, because I can't imagine that they don't have
They definitely
mental
do.
health coaches
They do,
or they
for
don't have a
sure.
therapist in house. Like
Oh, that would be
for their
so cool.
players.
Like yeah. Like imagine
I
after
would
you
love-
becomes a professional therapist,
would-
you get a license. You can
I would love
esports
to
license.
work with like work with the athletes.
That's
think-
cool.
I think that's a really unique way of being a part of esports, even if
Yeah.
you're not on the stage playing the game, because you're
Yeah.
enabling them to
Yeah.
play to their best capabilities.
I mean, I think
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. I mean, there's always going to be so many people behind the scenes that you never talk about, or never
Mhm.
see, I should say.
That definitely is something I am. I don't know why I was saying I am interested in doing. I don't know if that will ever fit in, but yeah, I would like to do. I'd probably have to move out to California though. That's the caveat. Because all the esports
Yeah.
organizations are all in California.
Yeah,
Okay. So I know
that's cool.
Skylar wanted to talk about
We
this
should start.
last
We should
topic.
probably start wrapping up.
No. We'll probably save it for next time.
We save it for next time.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should probably wrap
Yeah.
up.
Mhm.
We're hitting 2 hours.
Okay. Any final thoughts
Yeah.
then you guys want to share?
No, I think
Well, I just
Oh,
want to thank
cool,
Amelia
cool,
for coming
yeah,
on
thank you.
because that was cool.
thank you
Nice-
for
nice
inviting
to-
me, having these fun conversations.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of cool stuff today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. On that note, this has been Lads and Ladette today. To episode 3.
Let it.
Is that a word? I don't even know.
I
Now
don't
it
think
is.
so.
Now it is. Now it
Yeah,
is.
we'll make it a thing. Yeah, thanks again to Amelia for joining us. Be nice to girl gamers, all right?
It's true. We have feelings. We have
Yeah,
feelings
be nice,
too.
Be nice to